Okay, so I want to talk about ball striking and probably the biggest misconception that happens with most golfers, and I'm pretty sure there's a very good chance that you guys are falling into this sort of misunderstanding of what you're trying to do to improve your ball striking equally. So what we want to do in this video is I want to emphasize the importance of tilt. Now, tilt will be created very naturally, particularly in the setup position, because as you can see, for a right-handed golfer like myself, the right hand will be lower than the left. So you can kind of see the way that my shoulders are tilted, and therefore so will be my spine angle. Now, as you then sort of take the club back, you should sort of sequence the golf swing in such a way where your hands and arms should really move first, followed by your upper body. And that means that you should be able to kind of get a nice sort of, still head position in that takeaway, and I get a nice width. Now, from here, what should happen is I should sort of continue to turn. And again, you can kind of see that if you were to draw a line vertically through my lead hip, you can kind of see the way that I've got an element of tilt, right? So you don't want to kind of go too much this way. Equally, I'm not advocating that way to move massively over here. But what I'm sort of saying is if I got set up in a slightly tilted position and I rotate around that tilted position, that's where we should theoretically end up. Now, what that means is as I then start the downswing position, I need to move left, okay? And I need to kind of shift my weight left with maybe a small amount of rotation, but the emphasis here is on the shift towards the left. So you can see what I'm doing is I'm moving my weight from my right foot over to my left foot, but I'm doing it in the tilted proportion. So what I mean is I'm not moving my upper body like over my lower body. I'm moving my lower body in that tilted proportion. And what this does, if I do that slowly, can you now start to see as I bring my arms out of the way as well, my right shoulder starts to drop very much downward. Now, that type of motion won't feel like a compression motion, okay? So most people tend to go, if you want to compress your irons, you've got to really hit down on the ball, and they tend to think it's that sort of movement, okay, which is kind of like get your chest massively down and over the ball. But all that kind of does is that just makes the shoulder go up high, makes the right hip come forward, and it kind of just means that you get quite stuck and you have to sort of like cast, and that's not what we're after. So what I want you to do to sort of compress and to play around with your ball striking is just work on it like that. So make sure you get your sequence good, hands and arms first, nice turn up to the top, and then just literally sort of practice shifting your weight a couple of inches towards your lead side, or play around until you get the nice weight proportion. Keep your head focused on the back of the golf ball so that you reintroduce this tilt, and then just let your arms straighten. And then what you'll start to notice is you'll kind of feel the way your right shoulder is dropping down. But what this is doing, you see, is when you move your body like this way, okay, and my arms come down, I can get a really nice contact on the back of the golf ball. When we move this way, that's when you kind of get really sort of stuck and your arms don't move as well. So just play around with it. So swing, takeaway, up towards the top, shift a little bit away towards the lead side, and then from there, just kind of let your arms drop. And you'll actually be really surprised with how much better you're going to deliver that club on the back of the ball, lend itself to a better launch and compression on the back of your irons as well. See you soon.